Hi, it's another Friday, and thank you once again for stopping by. As usual, I don't know what's happening in your part of the world, but in these parts, we're having the COVID conversation. I think is the most talked about thing right now everywhere because we're having our second wave, and it looks like it's a bit dire, and not a bit, it is dire. And look, whatever you do, please follow the protocols. Social distance, wear your mask, wash your hands, sanitize if you have to. Most importantly, only move out of your home if you need to, please, because this virus relies on us to move for it to cause the damage that it's causing. So once we're able to stay still and figure out how to beat it, and then we can all go back to some kind of semblance of normalcy. I don't think we'll have a normal situation in the next few months, but we can have some semblance of normalcy. The virus will only move when you move, so for us to be able to curtail its movement, we need to sit still and do only trips that require for us to actually be on the move. So that's my intro for today. However, if this is the first time that you've pressed play, my name is Ama. Some call me Doris, some call me Tinka, some call me Tinkerbell, some call me MFA, some call me Mommy. Whichever name you know me by, I respond to all of them. And actually, whatever name you call me by helps me to figure out, this person might know me this long or that. But thank you for coming through today. We're not going to be exceptionally long. Something just occurred to me, and I just wanted to talk about it because sometimes people are being abused. They're very different types. Especially when it's not physical, the person's not hitting you, and they are not overt. Overt abuse is when they don't even care that there are people around. They will go ahead and abuse you. But the covert kind of abuse is where they know that they have to keep a certain kind of front, so they look like they're holier than thou and they are the perfect gentleman or lady or whatever, those ones. So I just came up with questions to ask yourself if you feel like you're being abused, right? So am I being abused? How can you tell? Because when it comes to emotional, financial, sexual, and all those other kinds of abuses, which are not physical, where they're not hitting you, and you actually know that someone who loves you should not be hitting or slapping you, you tend to feel like when they love bomb you and they hurt you and they come back, it's part of who they are. So you are not clear in your mind if it's abuse or not. So I decided to put some questions together. So when it comes to processing and understanding abuse, it can be very difficult when the victim is used to high conflict environments or has trauma bonds with their abuser. Trauma bonds are like what I talked about. Those things, and they abuse you, then they love bomb you. They either buy you a gift or they apologize or they cry and they say, I got angry is because I love you so much and I couldn't control myself. That's abuse. When you love someone, even when you're angry or you're upset about it, the love is evident. It will always lead through or come through, So anything other than that, you need to question that kind of love, right? So they love bomb you after an abusive episode and also create confusion in the mind of the victim because then it begins to look normal. So today we're just going to look at these questions. So number one, you should ask yourself, do you feel uncomfortable or afraid? Are you often put down, humiliated, or made to feel worthless or irrelevant? These are questions that you should ask yourself. So we're going to take them again. If you write the answers down, if you can listen to these questions, think about it, and come back, replay it, and write the answers down. It will give you some perspective. So number one, do you feel uncomfortable or afraid around your partner? Are you often put down, humiliated, or made to feel worthless or irrelevant? Do they try to stop you from seeing your friends and family? Do they make you feel afraid or guilty for or upset for disagreeing with them or even have a counter opinion? Do they constantly check on you to check what you're doing, who you are with, and what you're doing? Like, I'm not talking about concern or letting your partner know where you are or how your day is. I'm talking about they actually demanding to know where you are, who you are with, and censoring your time. Do they constantly accuse you of flirting with other people, male, female, whoever, when it's untrue, or when they feel like, oh, you formed a new friendship? Do they dictate how household income should be spent, what it should be used for, what should be bought, based on their likes and wants and idiosyncrasies? Do they stop you from having medical assistance or downplay it when you're unwell? Do they scare or hurt you by being violent, locking you in or out, driving dangerously, threatening you to throw your things out and all of that? Do they pressure or force you to do sexual things that you are uncomfortable with in any way? Do they threaten to kill you or even themselves when you want to leave, when you're uncomfortable about a situation, or you feel like, this abuse is getting out of hand? Do they expose you to ridicule? Do they bully you? Do they distort events and timelines to suit them? They expose you to ridicule, like tease you about your body, get people to tease you and make it look like it's a joke. And when you get upset about it, they feel like, oh, why can't you take a joke? No, that's not funny. Do they want to detect your looks, what to wear, how to wear your hair in a particular way, because that's what they like? There's a difference between dressing up because your partner loves you in a certain look and you are all for it. That's all right with it. But when something doesn't suit you and they want you to wear it because that's how they want it, that's a problem. Do they demand immediate responses to your text messages, phone calls, and demand to know why you didn't immediately respond to their calls or texts? Do you avoid some topics for fear of their anger, because that irritates them? Do they demand passwords to social media sites, email accounts, your phone? This is not a disclaimer not to have full disclosure between your spouse. Some people have it. You can have it. I encourage it, actually. But when your partner is using information that shouldn't even cause any drama to create mountains out of molehills and storms in the teacups, we have a problem. Do they discourage you from going to school, working, or starting a business? Or even when you start one, they are so unsupportive or put impediments in your way in such a way that it's either you stop the work, stop the business, stop going to school, and just, pander to their whims, Do they sabotage you when you have a work event or an assignment with the aim to frustrate you to stop the event or not go at all? And you have a business meeting, or you're in the middle of a business meeting and they start calling you that you're out, come back home, and that kind of thing. They will lock you out if you don't come back home. They call people to be calling you because they don't want you to be in the position where, especially when financial abuse is involved, So yes, everything is your fault in the relationship. Every goddamn thing is your fault in the relationship. Even when they sneeze, it's your fault because you probably have used too much Dettol, or you probably have used too much Zoflora or Fabuloso, or anything that you use to clean the floor or windows. You clean the toilets and you've used too much bleach, so you made the room stuffy and they cannot breathe, and yeah, that's your fault. A healthy non-abusive relationship is built on support, admiration, empathy, balance, personal responsibility, and love. These elements add up to love to build it up, and respect as well. When you love someone, you respect them. So be it boundaries, be it anger, be it communication, be it, a complaint, be it a discussion, everything is based on love, respect, empathy, admiration, and support for each other. if this is not present and dialogue and communication is acrimonious in nature, we have a problem. You get what I mean? So for me, the most basic thing in a relationship has to be respect. Because once there's love, there's respect. So immediately there is respect, it presupposes that the love is strong, And if you cannot be empathetic to the person that you say you love, I mean, where's the love? Where's the love? So if you answered yes to one or more of these questions, kindly note that you need to speak to a therapist and there's abuse occurring. Unfortunately. So you're enough, you're whole, you're smart, you don't deserve any of it. If you need any kind of assistance, any book, any resources, you can email me or send a message. I will get right back to you with those resources. These are questions that sometimes, when it comes to abuse, we kind of try to... some people will live in denial because confronting it breaks them. So somebody might listen to this and not dwell on it. But if something has struck a chord, go back and listen to it again and try to answer the questions. Seek help. Speak to people that you can trust. Bear in mind that it's not everyone who deserves to hear your story or to know the inner workings of whatever situation that you're in. Some people just want to hear it and not help you. Some people are going to go back to your abuser with flying monkey stories and conspiracies just to hurt you. If you even as much as say someone has been of help to you and your accuser accuses you of having an affair, the interpretation is that, that's probably why they said this person is helping. I mean, there's so much that you will learn along the way. I don't discourage people from maybe saying it. Everybody's journey is different, but you will figure out who's for you and who's not for you at some point, and you know how best to navigate your healing process. And my darling, healing is not linear. The start of it is identifying, understanding, knowing what you are up against. And that's why I have put these questions together. They might not be all of it. One day we might come back and revisit it again. But trust me, when you feel the pain, when you understand that confusion, when you even have to think about it and question the fact that you're being abused, that's enough to know that there's something wrong. So be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself and be kind to yourself. If you know anyone that's going through any of these things, you can, send this to them. And you can even ask yourself these questions on their behalf, especially if you know their story. Because sometimes they come to you with these stories because they are trying to unravel the confusion, in their minds and the dissonance that's happening, because there's a disconnect between who the person is professing to be and the treatment that they are getting from that person. So when the disconnect happens, they're just looking for someone to tell them that, you're not crazy. It is actually not normal to go through this with someone that loves you. So when they come to you, please don't tell them that it will make you stronger. Don't tell them that there's a lesson in it for you. Don't tell them that this too shall pass. No, I have an episode on toxic positivity. Please listen to it. Don't do any of those things, because when you do that, you re-traumatize the victim. Thank you as usual for being with me, sticking with me. Take care of yourself. Do remember to wear your mask, social distance. Don't go anywhere if it's not important, if it's not a matter of life and death. Spread positivity, spread well-resourced information, and let us do our possible best to take care of each other. Wear your mask for me and I will wear mine for you. Until we meet again, same time, it has been Conversations with Ama, and this is me, Doris, Ama, MFR, Tinkerbell, Emmy, whatever name you know me by. I love you. Take care of yourself. God bless you and stay safe.